All right. Hello, everybody. I just wanted to talk today about Subliminal because all of us had problems. Pretty much anyone who you've seen on YouTube is probably having problems with the game, and people on Steam and just people in general are having problems with it. I thought that I was the only one or one of the very few who was having issues with the game crashing because it just didn't seem like it was a problem in people's videos, but for me it was a huge problem. It crashed a bunch. In this update, they just put out a huge update, bunch of patch notes and everything. They mentioned it was mentioned at the very bottom. They had a whole page worth of patches, and I'll get into that in a second. But at the very bottom it talks about crashing and how they are trying to counter that. I think that speaks volumes. It means like all of this whole entire page of them making changes to it means they're committed to delivering the product that they wanted. Like, maybe it wasn't great out of the gate. I definitely had a lot of issues with it. I was very annoyed with some of the gameplay aspects, and I just wasn't very happy overall with the game. And that's no secret. If any of you watched my gameplay of it, you will know I was very, very angry with the puzzles and frustrated with that. And I figured it was just a me thing. I thought, like, I'm not good at puzzle things. If it's a logic puzzle, like, sometimes I can do pretty decent. But just with those kind of puzzles and the puzzles in these games, I just was not, it's not my thing. So I was like, okay, maybe it's just a me thing. Apparently a lot of people had problems with them. I saw in the reviews there was a bunch of people who said that it kind of broke the immersion for them. There was some people who said it wasn't a problem, and there was one comment in particular. It was talking about how, like, that's part of the issue with the gaming industry is that people want to be handheld, which is very valid. If that's how, like, I can see how that can affect the industry, because there is a whole bunch of hand-holding in games these days. And that was one of the things I thought I was going to like about this, was in the first puzzle that I encountered, there was no clues. I was like, okay, this is going to make me think. And I think the main problem with that, at least for me, is like, if you're going through a game, right, and you encounter a puzzle and it just makes you really, really think, you appreciate that puzzle. You appreciate that portion of the game because you're like, man, that made me really think about that. And it always leaves me feeling satisfied because I feel like I did something cool. The game did something cool. It's just all around a good thing. But for this one, I think where the problem came in is it was every single puzzle that was like that. And by every single puzzle, it's like every 5 seconds. Every other thing that you do in the game is a puzzle, and it's always a high-level puzzle like that. At least for me. And so that's where I was having problems with it, and that's where a lot of people very rightfully were disappointed. And I could go on and be like, well, yes, it's their first attempt, so that's kind of reasonable. At the end of the day, like, everybody had expectations. They went into it and those expectations weren't met, which was addressed later on. But I want to talk about the changes first. So look at all of them. There's half a page worth of changes, and all of them, I'm not going to read through them all because that's, if you guys want, they put it out on, they put an announcement on the, in your library about the game. So if you want to, you can go read it there in Steam, or you can freeze frame on the video or something. But they are actively working on improving the puzzles. There's a thing at the bottom about the FPS limit. I didn't have any issues with that, but I just got this computer, so it's a brand new system, so I didn't expect to have problems with it. If you have an older system or one that is just not as new, I could see you having problems. It is a very visual heavy game, and that's one of the things that I think is a very good thing about it. And it looks like, I've read some things that they put out in the past, and it's talking about how they tried to optimize it, and I think they even said it in the introduction that they were trying to optimize it for whatever your GPU was. I think it was in the settings, which is really neat. I don't see that with very many games where they try to accommodate. That is a very good thing. They did a lot of fixes. They noticed that people were having problems with the squeeze paths. I had a lot of problems with the squeeze paths. I don't know if I really covered it much in the gameplay, but it was kind of annoying when you have to squeeze through those areas, and you maybe have to do it multiple times because you're running back and forth for the puzzles, and it wasn't telling you every time that you're coming up on one. Which, again, I figured it was more of like a me thing where my attention span is not what it used to be, and I already don't have the best of attention spans. But I guess that was also a very common problem with people. And at the end of the day, all of this, like, yes, the game was a pain. The game was, it was very difficult to sit through, and it was just a miserable experience overall. I'm not gonna downplay that at all. But it's in their letter, the path forward. That's pretty much what they address, is they are trying to fix it going forward, and they're committed to delivering the version of the game that they want to create. And it can't be discounted that this is their first game. I know I said that's not an excuse. It's not an excuse, but it is a reason. It's something that, like, going into it, knowing that it was their first game, I was like, okay, it's probably not going to be like top tier AAA quality, and it wasn't. I mean, the visuals were very nice. I don't think I've heard a negative thing about the visuals everywhere, but the gameplay was not the best. The puzzles were very hard. The camera shake was a little bit troublesome. They're actively fixing that, or trying to fix it, it looks like. What I feel like happened is they were trying to throw everything at it. Like, they were trying to give a demonstration of what they could do, because this is their first go. They wanted to make a good impression, which ultimately it kind of backfired on them, but the bones are there. They just have to flesh it out a little bit. And I think given the chance, they will. And I mean, I can be your guys' case study. I'll play the chapter 2 when it comes out, and then we can see. But I'm willing to give them a second chance solely because of this. If they hadn't put out these patch notes like the day after it came out, then I wouldn't. But they did. They are actively listening to the community, which is nice. We have not had that in the gaming community in years, where people will actually listen to what the consumers want. So that's already blowing the AAA studios out of the water. And it looks like they've got a plan going forward. Maybe it's going to be something good, maybe it's not. But there's only one way to know, and that is when Chapter 2 comes out, I will play it, and then we'll see how it all pans out. And yeah, that's all I got to say for right now. So I will see you guys next time. Don't forget to change your socks and drink some water, and I will be back.